welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the Den. So this is my review recap, y'all, for Atlanta, okay? Season 4, Episode 6, Crank That Killer. So now, y'all, we got Paperboy out here doing Crank That. I didn't see that coming. And Darius and Earn are doing something strange for some sneakers. The synopsis tells us, hey yo, y'all remember how, we used to hit the club and do the pool palace and the crank that and nobody got shot? Yeah, me neither. Child, let's go ahead and get into it. So we started out this episode, we got Darius, and Al chilling, right? And Al is basically sitting on this couch. He is trying to get this daggone remote to work. He's looking through, all these daggone TVs, and he was like, channels, I should say. He was like, I can't find what I want. And he's trying to, speak into the remote and use the voice command and look for ESPN. And so Darius is saying that's why I cut all that stuff off. Why even pay for cable, right? Why? But he talking about why pay for electric and gas too. I said, nah, I need my electric and gas. I'll get you on the cable, right? We know that nowadays a lot of people are turning off cable and they're using streaming services or apps. But now we get into the point where we got so many of those different ones, child, that by the time you have a certain amount of those, you paying the same thing you would be paying if you had cable anyway. That ain't that the kicker. So, nonetheless, of course, Darius being Darius, that does not surprise me coming from him. And, he basically, like, I've been stopped using all of that stuff. And he was like, why not? And so, Paperboy says, because I'm not my daggone, brothers staying with my sisters. How did he say it? Oh, God. It was something like my sister's cousin's nephew. You know what I'm saying? I'm not staying with my brother's sister's cousin's nephew. And so, therefore, I need my shit, okay? And so, basically he was saying, cut it all off. And, he's saying that, he said he wasn't a hipster living with his brother's girlfriend's cousin, okay, picking blueberries and shit. That's what it was. And so basically, Ernest saying, what can't you stream? And he's like, I can't stream the news. He was like, what are you, 80 years old? You need to see the news. He like, yeah, I want to see the news. I watch that, okay? I just want to stay informed and shit. That's why I watch CNN. Darius talking about isn't CNN, where, isn't CNN where you take the kids, Ernest saying, listen, if you want to know who died, you look at TMZ. If you want to know what's going on, you look at Black Twitter, right? Well, now, he didn't even say Black Twitter. He just said Twitter, right? If you want to stay informed what's going on in the streets, you look on Twitter. If you want to know who died, you look at TMZ. If you want to know what's going on in the entertainment world, you look in the shade room, right? Something along them lines, right? I don't look at any of those except for Twitter. I ain't gonna lie. But he got a point there. He not lying where that's concerned. And so, he was like, you don't have to have, like, streaming services for that, right? He does have a point. I thought, that maybe I would say sports, or movies, TV shows. But nonetheless, he basically was saying that, also Lipstick Alley. And he was like, did you hear about that Crank That Killer? So Al like, Crank That Killer? What the heck are y'all talking about? They was like, yeah, they end up finding out that the past year and a half, it was some guy going around killing people. And the common denominator was all the Crank that videos from back in the days. And Ernest saying, yeah, I didn't believe it either. He was like, but that dude on Lipstick Alley did his homework, okay? And Darius is like, yeah, I believe him. So they was like, yeah, good thing we didn't make none of them Crank That videos, because this guy seems to be pissed, whoever it is, and he's coming after everybody that did. So they was like, yeah, the FBI want to talk to anybody that has been in the pool palace in the last 10 years. And so Ern over here making fun of the guy, saying, yeah, I bet he probably comes in with a knife like this and he's doing a dance, and they both laughing and they wondering why Al's sitting there looking so freaking serious. And the next thing you know, they like, what's wrong with you? What's going on? He basically pulls up the damn laptop, and we come to find out that, Paperboy was out here doing that crank that. Okay, he did one. And would crank that Jimmy Neutron. So he was like, yo, it was 2007, everybody was doing it that entire summer. It was hot, it was boring. We had went to the Pizza Man 100 times, and he was like, everybody that sold drugs in Atlanta was doing it. So, you know what I'm saying? I made one with Jay Berg, and he recorded this, and he was like, um, this has been on the internet this entire time. And he was like, man, Jay Berg posted that shit. He was like, I would call him and tell him to take it down, but I don't want him to have my number. Listen, I can relate. I don't be wanting certain people to have my number either. I get it, Paperboy. So, Darius is saying it only got 25 views, so they may be good. Maybe the killer has never seen it. And, Al is pretty much like, man, I ain't worried about no damn killer. Listen, they not lying. I remember back in 2007, everybody and their mother was doing that crank that. And child, I probably still got a VHS tape in here where I took my son and my bonus daughters for their birthdays, since their birthdays was around the same time, to New Rock City, which is basically just like a upgraded, for a little bit older kids, Chuck E. Cheese. And there's a video of them doing that crank on there, okay? So that made me laugh so hard when he was saying it, because it brought back memories. So nonetheless, he tells Ern to try to get it swept off the internet. Now, we know when something is on the internet, it's kind of hard getting it off, right? And then Darius is talking about maybe it ain't too bad, if you look deeper, you can see our roots. And Ern is like, yeah, no, okay. That ain't gonna work. He was like, this is bad, right? And he basically closes down the laptop, because even when Darius was looking at it, he was saying like, oh God, I don't like this. And I'm like, Lord, if Darius is saying he don't like something and it make him uneasy, then maybe Al, you might want to be a little bit worried, okay? So then we see him Paperboy in the studio. They saying that they got this record, and Ernest basically complaining about sneakers, saying, why is it so hard to get sneakers these days? What's going on? Al told him, well, why don't you try calling and seeing, telling them that it's for me. And he also says it might be shoe gentrification, okay? And so, Ern says, I already tried that. He was like, oh, well, then I don't know what to tell you then, right? That would have been your only other option. All of the sneakers sold out in like a couple of seconds. So the next thing you know, this guy comes from next door, and he's like, yo, Paperboy. And some guy from next door that basically saying he want to pop in is some guy named Doug. And so Paperboy's just like, yeah, okay, it's cool, send them in. So, Ern is like, who the heck is that? And he's like, yo, Doug, he's like, yeah, that's some guy that's always popping up. His actual rapper name is some guy named Doug. And he was like, he's cool and everything, but he always trying to get me to make music, and his music sucks. He literally takes this bottle of Hennessy, y'all, and pours it all over the daggone soundboard. Got him freaking smoking. And so when some guy named Doug comes in, he's like, yeah, I was laying it down. He was like, yo, your shit is cooking over there. He's like, yeah, man, it got messed up or whatever. He was like, Doug is telling him I thought we was going to be able to do a song together. He was like, nah, I can't. As you can see, the soundboard is messed up. He was like, the speakers is busted. The Wi-Fi is messed up. Right? Everything is going bad. I told these guys they got to get on top of it. They got to check the router. So he was like, look, one of these days we're going to connect. And, Al is basically like, yep, absolutely. One of these days, he was like, I could call you. He was like, nah, text me. He was like, I got some new beats and they fire. So he basically leaves. I said, no, he didn't just, pour the whole damn bottle of Hennessy out in the damn soundboard. But he basically was like, they done for the day. So now when they leaving, and they going downstairs, he's asking, Ern, like, we ain't got to pay for that, right? And he like, nah, man, we ain't got to pay for that. I'm like, are y'all sure? So they say bye, and he go ahead and get in his car, whatever the case may be, and he looks at the video again that's, still up there online, and he sees that it's like the skeleton. It's like the skeleton head emoji or whatever in the comments. So he just shaking his head like, yo, what the hell, right? I can't remember if that comment was there before or not, and I'm assuming now it went up from 25 to 27 because of the time that they all looked at it in the house, and now this time with him looking at it again in the car. And it had like 6 likes and 3 dislikes or something like that, right? And so Al is just pretty much like, shit, man, what the hell was I thinking, And then that's when he notices the one comment at the bottom. So basically, we have this guy. We don't know who he is, but his girl is dropping him off, to work. He's telling her, why don't she go home and take a nap? And she's like, now, that, before work, she like, Dagon, well, I ain't gonna be able to do that. And she's basically telling him he needs to go ahead and try to get a better job. He can't continue to do this, so that way they could go ahead and be able to get their own place. So next we see, Darius, of course, is bringing Ern to some guy he done heard about, okay, that is supposedly legit, that's in this van, and they trying to still get these daggone sneakers. And Ern is like, you sure about this? Because at least the last guy had his own, store. This is a van. And Darius is telling him, yeah, he legit. So, they go ahead and they get back in the back of the van. And Darius is basically like, yo, they sold out everywhere else. Do you have those? And the guy's cutting him off before he could even finish. He's saying that they both need 11s. And the man tells them, well, I got an 11 and I got a 10.5. And they like, what? And then he says, yeah, these is the last two. They like, really? He like, yep. And he was like, damn, that's surprising. He was like, they don't usually be having 11s. So they open it up and he like, whoa, they really got these. These is legit. He was like, hell yeah, these is legit. That's why they call me the shoe man. So he's like, all right. He was like, how much? He was like, nothing really. All I need to do is see you two kiss. I said, what the hell is going on? So they like, I'm sorry, what? He was like, I just need to see y'all two kiss in the back seat. So, Xavier's talking about some easy peasy, okay, no problem. And Ernest like, hold on. He was like, how much do you want? He's talking about, I don't want money. Everybody got money. So Xavier's talking about, let's just knock this out. And, Ernie was like, bro, I'm not kissing you. And then, Darius was like, I know you're not gay. He was like, that's not the point. I'm not kissing my damn friend. He was like, you want to kiss a stranger? And Ernie's like, no, I don't want to kiss nobody, okay? What part you don't understand? And so he was like, look, fellas, I'm going to need a, answer, because now at this point he's starting to get a line outside the van. So he was like, look, do you need to look at them again? That's what Darius is asking Ern, and Ern is just looking at him like he crazy. Now, meanwhile, Al is over here chilling in the house. He looking through trending topics and stuff like that. And he sees something with the Crank That Killer trending. And then, he's just like kind of staring at it and trying to see what the heck is, trending for. And then all of a sudden, he started feeling like, he's hearing a daggone noise. And he like, wait a minute. And he looking and listening or whatever the case may be. And no, I'm sorry. Even before that, he makes a call. And he basically, the man was just like, hello. And he was like, hello. And we find out that it's daggone Soldier. And he's like, yo, Soldier Boy is like, yeah, Paper Boy is like, what's up? He was like, I got a dumbass question. He was like, he said, yeah, what's up? He was like, you heard anything about that Crank That Killer? He was like, of course I did. He was like, shit, are you serious? He was like, man, I got more Crank That internet, on the internet than anybody. I invented YouTube or whatever, basically, right? And so Paperboy is like, definitely. He was like, you lucky, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole lot of Crank That videos. So now, Al starts laughing and was like, actually, I did do one back in the days. And Soldier Boy is like, what? He was like, man, you saying you made a Crank That song? He was like, yeah, I ain't call it that. I called it Crank That Jimmy Neutron. So he was like, man, what? He was like, you better skip town then like me. You could see the people packing up his stuff in the background. He was like, if I was you, I would be on my way to the safe farm right now. He like, safe farm? What the hell is that? He was like, it's a farm where it's safe at. So you won't end up dead. So he was like a good nigga, safe farm is Yo, that had me cracking up. So he was like, I don't know, man. I'm tired. I'm scared. I'm getting the hell up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, you not safe, man. I suggest you do, you know what I'm saying, get up out of there too. If you gotta crank that video, you better watch your back, okay? And he hangs up the phone, and so I was just sitting there looking. And after that, he was like safe for him, and just thinking. So then that's when he hears like a noise that's coming up from upstairs. But now, Darius and Ern already done left. So it's like, who the heck is that? He supposed to be the only one in there. And he looking around or whatever the case may be. And then he go and he look up the daggone stairs. And he was like, oh, okay, I don't know what it is, but I ain't going up there to find out. He go out that damn door, okay? He was out of there. I'm like, oh, Lord. So now he go ahead to well, no, we go back to Ern and Darius in this daggone van, right? They still debating. Darius is still trying to see if he can make some kind of compromise. They trying to see if they can't figure something out. They like, well, is this gonna be a peck on the lips? He's like, nah, what are you kissing your grandmother? He wanted to be at least 2 minutes. First he was saying something about French kiss, and Ern was like, you ain't saying nothing about no French kiss. So he was like, can we please have a one-on-one, discussion between us two and try to work this out? And he was like, well, y'all better work it out and y'all better hurry up, because at this point, I'm starting to miss other money I could be making, okay? So Ern is still saying he not doing it, and Darius is still saying, what's the big deal, man? He was like, come on, you could pay 17,000 or 10,000 or whatever for sneakers, but you can't just go ahead and get a kit for it. And then, and he's saying it's the principle of it. And so he was like, look, I get it. I like sneakers. You like sneakers. This is what Ern is saying. He was like, but that's we put an excessive value on it or whatever. But is it really worth our dignity? And he was like, yo, I don't see what's the big deal. This is what Darius is saying or whatever. So Ern is saying he spends like $900 on loafers or whatever, right? And he was like, I've seen billionaires walk in with dirty sneakers and stuff like that into meetings that, you could wear like a damn paper towel on your damn head or whatever. So he was like, I think that we're a little above this as far as kissing for a damn pair of sneakers, and I think that I'm right. And so Darius is basically like, really? Are we? He's saying, I think we should do it. His mind still hasn't changed, okay? He still want these two Nike Miracle sneakers. And so the guy comes back in like, y'all ready? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Are y'all doing this or what? And so, in the meantime, when he getting back in the car, we see this other guy getting out from the other side, and come to find out that is Mr. Paperboy going into the mall. And he goes in there and asks for a pretzel, and the girl's basically like, Paperboy? He was like, she was like, wow, can I freaking, like get you on my Instagram live? And he like, nah. He was like, how the heck did you know it was me? She was like, are you serious? All you got on is shades and a damn hat that don't got no type of logo on it. How many guys is walking around here with hats with no logos? Like, it's mad obvious. Only famous people try to blend in like that. And she was like, look, over there is Chris Evans. I said, not Chris Evans. So basically, the same boy that we seen his girlfriend dropping him off at the beginning, she ends up telling him like, oh, my girl said that Paperboy is over here and he just stopped and got some pretzels. The guy's over here giving out free samples of chicken that nobody don't want to take. And he was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. She said he just came and bought 2 pretzels. So he over here giving her his tray like, please hold this down. He want to go into a freestyle for him. And she's like, boy, I work at Sombrero. I don't even work at the same damn place as you. But he didn't care. He off to run off and try to find Paperboy. So now at this point, Paperboy is kind of sitting down, eating his pretzels. He walking around or whatever. Go sit down, eating his pretzel, and you could hear this car coming up long before it actually, reaches the entrance. You can hear it say, turn left, turn right, like the GPS is mad loud or whatever. And then when it gets to the front, is this red car, and you just see, Al sit up and start looking, paying attention or whatever the case may be, right? And then when the guy steps out, he's like, Paperboy, man, loud. And Al starts walking real fast trying to get away from him and whatever, right? So I'm like, well, who the hell is this, right? It seemed like Al knows this person. Like, is this the damn killer? Like, if he recognized him when he see him and he was trying to get away from him. So one minute he could see him behind him and then he couldn't see him no more. Right? And he stops and he's trying to act like he want to buy something. And the lady asking him if he's a crackhead. The lady was asking him if he's she's a crackhead, and he just looking at her like she damn crazy. So she's like, all right, whatever. And the next thing you know, the damn guy points a gun and he starts shooting, and then it turns into a full blown shootout. Like, Al hurrying up, ducking, he getting out the way, he dropping down on the floor, like, yo, this damn dude is crazy or whatever. And the next thing you know, everywhere you look, somebody had a damn gun and was shooting, right? And listen, at the end of the day, that America and their guns, right? Everybody be having one. So at this point, I guess when he started shooting, another person pulling out theirs and they all shooting at each other, you see him picking up the daggone little boy and shooting with him in his arms. And Paperboy's just trying to get the hell up out of here. He trying to get away. He trying not to get the damn shot. So in the meantime, the daggone boy that wanted to rap. I don't know if he couldn't hear what was going on or what, but he literally runs up to him and starts freestyling or whatever the case may be, while Paperboy is running from these damn shots. And he running up to him because Paperboy was like, what's wrong with y'all damn people? What the hell is going on? He trying to get as far away as he can. And here come this one running to him, trying to daggone freestyle. And Paperboy was like, he was like, now it's not the time. I'm sorry, y'all. That was funny. He was like, now it's not the time. And he pushed him straight through the damn glass. Like, get out of my way. Oh, God. So, I don't know. Homeboy might go look for a new damn job now, all right? And so, Darius is in the car with Ern, and he's talking about, you ready for this, And then he got All My Life by Jodeci playing in the background. I'm sorry, yeah. So, that's playing in the background, and Darius is saying, are you ready for this? All right, let me calm down. That's playing in the background, and Darius is saying, are you ready for this? So they go, and they puckering up, right? And they kiss. In the meantime, while these people still running out, shooting, the damn guy gets shot. So now he done got shot, and they in the back damn kissing, and they like, all right, 2 night miracles, please. And they look up, and they like, oh, what? And then they like, oh, okay, Leia, let's get the heck up out of here, right? Like, bro, we already implicated. They take the damn sneakers, and they go. So then Al is basically running, ducking, still behind these cars, because now to this point they coming outside shooting. They not just inside the mall no more. And who rolls up? Okay, but a guy named Doug, and he's like, get in. And then when Al gets in, he's like, yes, thanks. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shoot, right? Super happy that he got saved and that he's not, getting shot up or whatever the case may be. The guy hurry up and go speeding off. And then he tells him, oh, great, I'm so glad I ran into you. Now me and you could go make this song. And so basically, Al went from being happy, like, yo, you saved my life. I can't believe it. It was crazy back there, to now looking at him like, damn, he done caught him, and because he saved his life, he got to get in here and do this song with him or whatever, right? He was like, because the Paperboy telling him, for real though, I owe you one, man, on God. And he was like, what were you doing there? He was like, I guess it was just fate. You know what I'm saying? Right place, right time. So he was like, I was actually headed to the studio. So, at the end of the day now, Paperboy stuck with him, and he got to go do the song with him. So now, when they get back to Paperboy house, he in here with these plants, Zarius basically was like, wow, you actually got a nice green thumb. And Paperboy tells him, yeah, I think I might go and get me a farm. He like, a farm? He like, yeah, a safe farm, right? Oh, Lord, I'm sorry, y'all. That was too funny. So he was telling them, like, yeah, I might go and get me a farm, because he had all these plants, and they was like, wow, you really look like you got a green thumb. And he basically was like, yeah, that's actually a really good idea. And he was saying he was saying, I'm sorry, y'all done lost my daggone train of thought from freaking laughing on. He was saying, that he want to get this safe on, right? And they was like, really? Like, you know what I'm saying? You being serious right now? He was like, yeah, that's something that he gonna go ahead and look into getting the farm because now he got this, green thumb going on and he got all these plants and he was walking out with one as they was coming in the door and they was like, how did your day go or whatever the case may be? What did you do? And they was saying like, oh, you really serious about getting the farm? And he was like, yeah, like they say, like a good nigga say farm is there. So he was like, yeah, that's actually a good idea. So he was like, you know what? They found that Crank that killer. And he's like, oh, word? He was like, yeah. So when they show him the pictures, there's some big black guy with these glasses on or whatever. And they was like, I'm sorry, a big black guy with this big beard, right? And they like, yo, that's crazy. And they was like, yeah. So they was like, what did you end up doing today? He was like, oh, nothing. I end up going to the mall and basically ran into a nigga that I had beef with from high school. And they was like, really, what happened? He was like, yeah, well, I guess he's still mad. Okay, so that's when we found out that that's who that guy was. And then basically they was, he looks down and he tells Darius, oh, those are some nice sneakers. And Darius is like, I'm glad you noticed. He was like, yeah, I had to do a little something for them. And I is just looking like, nigga, I know you ain't about to tell him that we had to get you. He talking about, but it was worth it. And he basically starts doing a little dance. And so he was like, what's that? And Paperboy was playing the track that he did with, a guy named Doug. And he was like, oh, that sounds like trash. And, Al is basically like, yep. And he was like, yeah, that is trash. And he started trying to get up and see if he could dance to it. And he was basically saying that, it was off beat or whatever the case may be. He can't even catch the beat that is trying to give. And Darius over here talking about just happy that he got his sneakers, talking about, I can't catch the rhythm. I really don't know. And so it basically was Oh, that was a hilarious episode, y'all. That was the end of the episode. I'm sorry. Y'all put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about that one, yo. That had me cracking up. I'm sorry. Let's discuss. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you were so inclined, give me a wave. Tell me you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Till next time, y'all. Toodaloo.